Hello dear students, in previous videos we have studied about the cell organelles such as endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, Golgi complex and lysosomes. In this video we will be discussing about important cell organelles such as mitochondria, plastids, vacuoles, peroxisomes and centrosomes. So let us start our discussion with very important cell organelle, mitochondria. Mitochondria are also known as the powerhouse of the cell. Why? Let us discuss. Do you know who discovered the mitochondria? The mitochondria was first discovered in the year 1890 by the scientist Richard Altman. He was a German scientist. He had discovered the mitochondria in the year 1890. He was a German pathologist and histologist. Histology means the study of tissues. In studying animal cells, he studied small granules in the protoplasm of the cell. He called these granules as the bioblasts. Today, they are known as the mitochondria. What is mitochondria? Mitochondria is popularly known as the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria is a plural. Singular is mitochondrion. These are the double membrane bound organelles found in most eukaryotic organisms. They are found inside the cytoplasm and essentially function as the cell's digestive system. They play a major role in breaking down nutrients and generating energy-rich molecules for the cell. That's why mitochondria are known as the powerhouse of the cell. Why? Because mitochondria play a major role in breaking down nutrients and generating energy-rich molecules for the cell. Many of the biochemical reactions involved in cellular respiration take place within the mitochondria. The term mitochondria is derived from the Greek word mitos and chondrion, which means thread and granules like respectively. So mitochondria means the thread with granule like structure. Now what is the structure of mitochondria? The mitochondria is a double membrane rod shaped structure. It is found in both plant as well as in animal cells. Its size ranges from 0.5 to 1 micrometer in diameter. The structure comprises an outer membrane, an inner membrane and a gel-like material called the matrix. The outer membrane and the inner membrane are made of proteins and phospholipid layers separated by the intermembrane space. The outer membrane covers the surface of the mitochondria and has a large number of special proteins known as porins. Mitochondria is freely permeable to ions, nutrients, molecules and energy molecules like the ADP and ATP molecules. The inner membrane of mitochondria is rather complex in structure. It has many folds that form a layered structure called the cristae. This helps in increasing the surface area inside the organelle. The cristae and the proteins of the inner membrane aids or helps in the production of ATP molecules. The inner membrane is strictly permeable only to oxygen and to ATP molecules. A number of chemical reactions take place within the inner membrane of mitochondria. Here you can see the structure of mitochondria. See, the outermost is the outer membrane. Then it has inner membrane shown by the light green color. Here inside you can see the ribosomes. Here you can see that mitochondria have their own DNA. There are two special cell organelles which have their own DNA. These cell organelles are mitochondria and plastids. Because of the presence of the DNA and the ability to self-replicate, mitochondria are considered to be semi-autonomous. Here you can see the cristae, these folds present inside the mitochondria, so they increase the surface area for the cellular reactions. Many of the cellular reactions are taking place in the mitochondria. So this is the structure of mitochondria. What are the functions of mitochondria? Mitochondria regulates the metabolic activity of the cell. They promote the growth of new cells and cell multiplication. It also helps in detoxifying ammonia in the liver cells. Mitochondria plays an important role in apoptosis or programmed cell death. Apoptosis means cells kill themselves for the welfare of the organism. If the cell gets damaged or infected, then that cell destroys itself, and mitochondria helps that cell to destroy itself. Mitochondria are responsible for building certain parts of the blood and various hormones like testosterone and estrogen. It also helps in maintaining an adequate concentration of calcium ions within the compartments of the cell. Mitochondria is also involved in various cellular activities like cellular differentiation, cell signaling, cell senescence, controlling the cell cycle, and also in the cell growth. Now let us discuss about the next very important cell organelle, plastid. Plastids are found only in the plant cells. They are double membrane bound and semi-autonomous like the mitochondria. Why plastids are semi-autonomous? Because these plastids also possess their own DNA. Plastid is a double membrane bound organelle involved in the synthesis and storage of food, commonly found within the cells of photosynthetic plants. Plastids were discovered and named by Ernst Haeckel, but A.F.W. Simper was the first to provide a clear definition of the plastid. Plastids are necessary for essential life processes like photosynthesis and food storage. A plastid containing green pigments, that is chlorophyll, is called chloroplast, whereas a plastid containing pigments apart from the green colored pigment is called as a chromoplast. A plastid that lacks pigments is called as leucoplast and is involved mainly in food storage. Here you can see the various types of plastids. See, the first type is etioplast. Here you can see its structure. It is a crystalline prolamellar body. It is precursor of chlorophyll. Chromoplast, the colorful pigment synthesis and storage. Chloroplast is responsible for photosynthesis and lipid synthesis. Leucoplast, these are for synthesis of fatty acids and amino acids. Amyloplasts are related to storage of starch and sugars. Elioplasts, they are related to storage of lipids and oil. And proteinoplasts, these are the sites of enzyme or protein activity. So these are the various types of plastids. First very important type is chloroplast. The chloroplasts are probably the most known of the plastids. They are responsible for photosynthesis. The chloroplast is filled with the thylakoids, which is where photosynthesis occurs and chlorophyll remains. Next is chromoplast. Chromoplasts are units where pigments are stored and synthesized in the plant. These are found in flowering plants, fruits and aging leaves. The chloroplasts actually convert over to chromoplasts. The carotenoid pigments allow for the different colors seen in fruits and the fallen leaves. You know why the plants, flowers and fruits are so colorful? They are colorful due to the pigment in chromoplast. These are the carotenoid pigments. One of the main reasons for this structure and the color is to attract the pollinators or insects for pollination. You know why flowers are so attractive and colorful? They are colorful so as to attract the insect towards them for pollination. Third type is leucoplasts. Leucoplasts are the non-pigmented organelles. They are found in the non-photosynthetic parts of the plant, such as the roots. Depending on what the plant needs, they may become essentially just storage sheds for starches, lipids and proteins. They are more readily used for synthesizing amino acids and fatty acids. A leucoplast may be an amyloplast that stores starch, an elaioplast that stores fat, or a proteinoplast that stores proteins. Now let us discuss the structure of plastids. The chloroplasts may be spherical, ovoid or discoid in higher plants and stellate, cup-shaped or spiral as in some algae. They are usually 4 to 6 micrometers in diameter and 20 to 14 number. In each cell of higher plants, they are evenly distributed throughout the cytoplasm. The chloroplast is bounded by 2 lipoprotein membranes, an outer and inner membrane, with an intermembrane space between them. The inner membrane encloses a matrix, the stroma, which contains small cylindrical structures called as the grana. Most chloroplasts contain 10 to 100 grana. Here you can see the structure of the chloroplast. See, this is the structure called as grana. Most chloroplasts contain 10 to 100 grana. See, this is the outer membrane. This structure is outer membrane. Inner membrane. Here is the intermembrane space. There is thylakoid, stroma lamellae. See, this is the intermembrane space. This is stroma. Now, what are the functions of plastids? Plastids provide color to fruits and flowers. They help in storage of protein, starch and oil. They trap solar energy to manufacture food through the process of photosynthesis. They also help in maintaining balance between carbon dioxide and oxygen during photosynthesis. Next important cell organelles are vacuoles. What are vacuoles? See, vacuoles are the fluid-filled single membrane-bound structure present in animal as well as in the plant cells. Vacuoles are storage bubbles found in cells. They are found in both animal and plant cells, but these are much larger in plant cells. Vacuoles might store food or any variety of nutrients a cell might need to survive. They can even store waste products, so the rest of the cell is protected from contamination. Aside from storage, the main role of the central vacuole is to maintain the tug of pressure against the cell wall. Proteins found in the tonoplast, that is aquaporins, they control the flow of water into and out of the vacuole through active transport, pumping potassium ions into and out of the vacuole's interior. The vacuoles provide turbidity to the plant cells, also store the waste products. Next cell organelles are peroxisomes. These are small single membrane bound organelles that contain oxidative enzymes. Here you can see the enlarged structure of the peroxisome. This is cell and this is very small structure found in the cell known as, see here you can see the enlarged structure from here, that is peroxisome. A peroxisome is a membrane bound organelle formerly known as microbody. It is found in the cytoplasm of virtually all eukaryotic cells. Peroxisomes are oxidative organelles because they contain the oxidative enzymes. An enzyme called catalase, it catalyzes the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide to hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen peroxide is a toxic byproduct of cellular metabolism. The peroxisomes are usually found in the kidney and in the liver cells. The next cell organelles are centrosomes. Here you can see the structure of the centrosome. Centrosomes are organelles that lack a membrane and are found closer to the nucleus in animal cells. The centrosomes are organelles which serve as the main microtubule organizing centers for animal cells. Centrosomes are made of from arrangement of two barrel-shaped clusters of microtubules called centrioles and a complex of proteins that help additional microtubules to form. Centrosomes give rise to spindle fibers at the time of cell division. In plant cells, the polar caps perform functions that are similar to the centrosomes in animals. In next video, we will be discussing about cell division. Also, we will compare between animal cells and plant cells. Thank you.